share my screen as well. Right. Okay. So today we are discussing about the assignment. So our discussion would be on the assignment brief and how we would do our assignment. So before we start how to do the assignment, we'll discuss a few important points which we have covered in our previous classes regarding health and social care context and principles. So we have discussed some of the uh, core principles that guide our practice in adult social care. So um, we need to understand the fundamental values. So there are few values which we need to consider while we work in the health and social care industry. So these include dignity, respect, independence. These values are essential because they affirm that every individual deserves to be treated with dignity, should be respected for their choices and identity, and has the right to make decisions about their life. So we also discuss about empathy, so which allow us to connect on human level, understanding the emotion and experiences of those we care for, and we discuss about the ethical responsibilities as well. It's like acting in the best interest of clients and or the service user, maintaining confidentiality and reporting any concern of the abuse or neglect are fundamental ethical responsibilities. We also advocate for some of the service user who are unable to make the decision on their own or they are vulnerable, so we need to advocate them as well. We do sometime like for example in health and social care practices or in social work, sometimes if some service user don't have the ability, like we assess them under the mental capacity act, and then based on our assessment we do the advocacy, or we do something on their behalf, uh, and this is also important, we take consent, and if it's under mental capacity act they are like not able to make the decision, then we will do what is best for them. So and we also like as a care worker, our action and decision have a significant impact on the lives of those we serve, and we by understanding and implementing these values, behavior and responsibilities, what we do is we ensure that our care uh, is like on a high level and is appropriate and respectful for the service user. So we also discussed the important point is team working, collaborative care, and the multidisciplinary team or the interdisciplinary team working. So what it does, that different experts from different organizations, and they work together and contribute to comprehensive care planning and delivery. What it does, it enhances the quality of care and meets service user needs more effectively. And we also discuss about um compassion, and compassion involves empathy and caring actions towards service user. It supports the emotional well-being and helps building interest, which are crucial for effective care. So we have covered uh, most of the things in our previous lecture, which we need to discuss in the assignment. and we will go through the assignment brief, and we will go through some of the criteria which we need to do. For example, uh, when we start the assignment, for example, uh, like with the other classes, I have covered it today as well with the other class. So what we need to do during when we are making an assignment, when we are doing an assignment, we'll discuss that as well. So for example, when we start an assignment, generally what happens, we have a introduction, then we have the body, and then we have the conclusion. So generally in body, we could have 3, 4 paragraphs or 5 paragraphs. We may use headings, subheadings into the assignment. Um, and the conclusion, for example, is not for every learning outcome. Each assignment has 4 learning outcomes. So when we have 4 learning outcomes in our assignment, so first task would be on the basis of learning outcome 1. Then we will have the second task, and after that we'll have the third or the fourth task. And sometimes the tasks are combined for some of the learning outcomes. We need to understand first what is the learning outcome. So learning outcomes are the important points of that unit, specifically to any topic area, and then we need to learn those concepts. So these are called as LOs. LO means learning outcome. So every assignment has 4 learning outcomes, and for example, in this one, so we have given a scenario. So what is a scenario? Scenario is based on how we have to work on an assignment. Basically, it's the type of a scenario given to us. For example, uh, if I have to think like a care assistant, if I'm working in a care home as a care assistant, so then they may ask us that, for example, you need to think like a care assistant and write an assignment as a care worker who's working in an adult or social care organization. And sometimes like they ask us in the scenario that suppose you are the manager of a care home or any nursing home or uh, any domestic care setting, something like that. So they'll say that, okay, now you have to manage everyone, and suppose you have to write a report. So you will write as a manager. So in the scenario, we need to check what level of work we need to do in our assignment. If they are asking us to think as a care worker, so we will think and write as a care worker. If they ask us to write as a manager, then we will think and write as manager of the facility. So for example, um, I'm working in, just for example, I'm working in ABC care home. So I will, if in some scenario or in the learning outcome or in the assessment criteria, the uh, core concepts are based on where we are working. Sometimes they ask us to provide examples from own place of work. So they will mention that you will need to provide the examples from your own place of work. So if they ask us in the criteria that we need to give answer in the light of our own care setting or our own place of work, then we must have to write these words that at my place of work, I do this, yeah, or we do this, because like it's mentioned in the criteria that we need to give examples from our own place of work. So we will mention that at my place of work, I do this. If it's your own context, if they are asking that how do you do something, for example, if it's about reporting and recording, so if the criteria asks that explain how do you do the uh, incident reporting in your own care setting. So if it's asking how do you, if it's asking about myself, then I'll write that I'll write start it like this. For example, that I am working in ABC Care Home in Manchester, and in my role, when there is an incident occur, so what I do is I write it down in the incident book, and I have, for example, a mm, a platform, a online platform, where I record the incident as well, and then it will send email automatically to the manager or the senior or the supervisors, so they all are aware of the incident. And um, this is what I do at my place of work. For example, if they are generally asking that usually what are the procedures or the policies or the steps you need to follow when there is an incident happen at any place of work or at a health and social care setting, then we will write generally that in case of any incident occurs at a health and social care practice, we do we report it to our senior managers or like supervisor, or we fill out the incident uh, diary or incident form, or we email it to the supervisor, something like that. So we need to understand the bit. If they're asking about your own experience, then you need to write your own experience. If they're asking about the place you work, so we need to mention that at my place of work. For example, if we cannot mention the name of our company, or for example, if there's a care plan, so sometimes we cannot mention the name of the service user. It's in the confidentiality, so we cannot mention the name of the service user. So what we do is we will write ABC or XYZ, or if we'll keep the name, we'll change the name, or we will remove the important information. For example, the date of birth, the NHS number, we will remove that from the assignment, or we will write dash 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 in the assignment. We'll write XYZ, something like that. So we cannot uh, share the confidential information of any service user in our assignment as well. So we need to consider that what the question is asking. So now, for example, in this situation, the scenario is for this is for the Unit 1 Health and Social Care Context and Principles assignment. So we have given a scenario here. You are working for an adult social care organization, and your manager has asked you to support the training of new entrants into the organization by producing support materials. Okay, one more thing is important in the assignments, that look at the spelling of organization. So we will always use the British spelling standards. So organization should be from S. There should be S in it, not Z or Z. So whenever you are working in an assignment, make sure the setting of your Microsoft uh, Word uh, is the language is set on British English. And then now uh, in every assignment, we need to always look for the command words. We will always use exactly the same command words as in the assignment brief. For example, if it's saying that something to explain what is safeguarding. So we will use the same command word explain, and we always need to find out the keywords or the important words in the uh, assignment in the assessment criteria. So, for example, if they are asking what is safeguarding or explain safeguarding, so explain is the command verb, and then safeguarding is the keyword or the important word which we need to give the answer for. And now in this case, we need to look at the scenario. So we have to think that there's they haven't mentioned that what role we are working on. So, for example, I'm working as a healthcare assistant at an organization. So I will use that I'm working in ABC care home, just for example, or any specific care home. Suppose I used to work with uh, like city care home. So there I will mention that I am working at city care home, and I'm going to write this report because my manager asked me to provide the training of new entrants into the organization by producing support materials. So something like that I will build in my assignment. So now we have the task one. Your manager has asked you to produce a guide for new trainees that describes the health and social care sector within your chosen national context. Your guide must explain the structure of health and social care provision across the sector. The second bullet point is analyze the organization providing adult social care and how these are accessed by the service user. The third bullet point is analyze the role related to the health and related to adult social care. Then we have next bullet point, analyze adult social care policy and regulation. Then the last bullet point is assess the impact of policy and regulation on providers of adult social care using example to illustrate the information. Now, for example, when we have these bullet points to answer in our assignment, so can anyone be able to tell me what are the key words and what are the command verbs here? In each bullet point, if we look at the first bullet point, for example, this is the first bullet point which we need to answer. So in this bullet point, what is the command verb and what are the important keywords which we need to answer?
The command word is explain.
Excellent.
Yeah, and the other one is health and social care.
Right. So you are right. First, the command verb is explain, and the important keywords which we need to consider is structure. We need to explain the structure and health and social care provision. So these all are the important words or the keywords which we need to answer. We always need to explain what is the structure of health and social care provision across the sector. So we will look for these important points when we are searching information from Google, or we are searching any book or any content which is available on the Moodle. So what we look for are the structure of health and social care provision, and we will explain it in our own words. We cannot copy paste exactly the same information from any book or any website or any other source and just paste it there. So we always need to write it in our own words, and we will need to give credit to the original author. How we do that? We give the in-text citation and we will give the references in the end. In our college, what we follow is we follow the Harvard referencing style. So our in-text citation and references would be based on Harvard referencing style. I'll explain how we do the in-text citation and references later. So good, you said that the command verb is explain. For example, here in the second bullet point, we have the command verb analyze. And for example, if we talk about the second bullet point, after the command verb, what we have, analyze the organization providing adult social care and how these are assessed by service user. So according to me, it should be based on an organization and which is providing adult social care and how these are assessed by service users. So uh, I need to write for a service user, how a service user like the organization providing adult social care. We need to talk about adult social care, not the child work or the child social care. We need to write for the adult service user and how they assess the services. We need to analyze that. Then we need to analyze the roles related to adult social care. So what roles are there and which is related to the adult social care. Then in the next bullet point, we have to analyze adult social care policy and regulation. So we will have to, like, for policy, we always need to mention uh, the national policies and the organizational policies as well. Policies are of two types. So there are organization policies, which is our own organization policies, and then we have the national policies, which we all need to follow. And the regulation, the laws and the regulation or the legislation, these are like every health and social care related person need to follow, and we need to mention that. And whenever you are mentioning any specific legislation or law, something like that, so make sure that we always use the updated version of it, and we will write it in full first. After that, we may use it in abbreviated form as well. And just for example, if we are mentioning uh, about the CARE Act. So we will write CARE Act 2014, and after that I may write according to CARE Act, something like that. But the first time when we are mentioning about it, so make sure that we mention it fully according to CARE Act 2014. And sometime, like, when we search the information through internet or through books, so sometimes the legislation has been updated. Previously, we had Health and Social Care Act. So now we have changed it. It's now been replaced with, or like updated with, Health and Care Act 2022. So there are like most of the instructions are same in that legislation, but few of the bits are updated. So we need to make sure that we always check for the updated or the latest version of the uh, act or the legislation which we are mentioning in our assignment, in our work. So then we need to assess the impact of policy and regulation on providers of adult social care using examples to illustrate the information. Now here the important bit is regulations of providers. So here we are talking about again the uh, impact of policy and regulation on providers. So providers, who are providers? Providers are our organization and the staff as well. As an employee, we are the providers of health and social care to any adult. And now they are asking us to give the and examples. And again, there is second command verb here is to illustrate. First is assess, and then the second one is the illustrate. So we need to do the assessment and we need to do the illustration as well based on the uh, service provider. For example, ABC Care Home and myself as well. I'm working in a care home, so I need to provide that information and with examples. So here main thing is it's not example, it's examples, it's plural. So we need to provide more than one example. Sometimes students make the mistake, the uh, assessment criteria ask for example. So what we usually do is we think it as a singular. So we think that, okay, if we have provided one example, that's enough. No, we need to look carefully that if they are asking to provide an example, so I will only write only one example. So now here in this case they are saying that we need to care using examples, so it should be more than one, at least two example. If I give more than two example, that's up to me, but to pass the criteria I have to give at least two examples. Always remember that in the assignments we have uh, pass, merit, and distinction criteria. So sometimes students make a mistake that, okay, I'll achieve distinction, I'll do the distinction work, and they directly do the distinction work. They don't write about the pass and the merit criteria. So that is wrong. So first step, it's a ladder. Just for example, so first step is to achieve the pass criteria, then the merit criteria, then the distinction criteria. If I won't achieve the pass grade, then I won't get the merit, neither I won't get the distinction. I cannot directly jump to distinction. And this is the same mistake I also made when I was a student. So please don't make this mistake. I thought that I was doing the best work, because I'm writing I'm following the criteria of distinction work, so I will get distinction. What I made the mistake, I did not follow the pass criteria and the merit criteria assessment. So please don't do that mistake. First, we need to achieve the pass criteria. So the pass criteria is a must, that we don't miss the command words in it. Then we don't have to miss any important keywords in it. And after achieving the pass criteria, I'll go for the merit and the distinction. So make sure that we must achieve pass, then we will attempt the merit and distinction criteria. And always, like, the merit and distinction criteria would always be based upon the pass criteria. So it's everything will be in link. So for example, uh, the pass criteria would be something easy and related with, for example, in this case, it will say that explain what is health and social care. Then it will go further. Uh, when we have explained it for pass criteria, then it might say that uh, for merit criteria, they will say that now analyze the impact of health and social care uh, in a service user life. Then the distinction criteria would be illustrate it with examples from your own place of work, something like that. So it's all will be related to each other. So make sure we achieve the pass criteria, then we will go for the merit and the distinction one. Any question, please ask me. So, because if you don't understand it properly, then it would be difficult to do the assignment. Please don't hesitate. And if you have any
Okay.
question, please ask me.
Yes. Yes. And all these classes we have been having, when will it be on our module?
The next module,
Yes.
I believe that from next week we will start the next unit, next
No,
Saturday.
what I'm saying is that all the classes we held on this extended diploma on this social care, this unit one, health
Yes,
and social care, yes. We've had some classes for the past 2, 3 weeks now.
yes.
How can we access it?
I believe that they would be in the module section. Uh,
Because it is not yet on the modules.
Right, okay. So I'm not sure about it because I'm recording everything. And if you could email it to the management, or you could email to Raman, and
Okay,
then he may be able to send you the files, or he will tell you where the recordings
okay,
are.
okay. Thank you.
No worries. So, right, okay. The important bit here, like, this is the task one. Okay, now they have mentioned that extension activities to achieve a merit, your your guide must also. Okay, so these all are related with the pass criteria. And look, they have mentioned that achieve a merit. What we need to do is we need to assess how the National Organization of Health and Social Care meet recent national health and social care priorities and impacts on provider. So we need to assess it, and then what we need to do is National Organization of Health and Social Care meets the recent national health and social care priorities and impacts on providers. So who are the providers? Again, the providers are the organization and the healthcare staff. Then to achieve distinction, what we have to do, we need to evaluate it. The command verb here is to evaluate. So we need to evaluate it, how successful policy is in meeting national care and needs for the adult social care sector. So we need to evaluate it and writing about the needs for adult social care sector regarding the successful policy. And then what we have, the learning outcome as assignment criteria. So learning outcome 1 has AC 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1 M1. Then the learning outcome 2, then we have the task 2. So now again in the task 2, your manager has asked you to produce a patient leaflet for the organization which set out the legal responsibilities of those working in adult social care and the rights of service user. Your content must explain the legal responsibilities in adult social care, analyze the right of service user in adult social care. So we need to uh, make a leaflet. And what is a leaflet? Generally, we have seen a leaflet which like we get through our letter boxes at our home. So we won't require to make it like a proper graphical um, leaflet as we get at our home. So we can uh, do it in a Microsoft Word as well, or we will make a PDF type of leaflet as well. So leaflet is not generally uh, writing in Microsoft Word. Like it's if it's a written assessment, what will happen in a written assessment? We will write everything on Microsoft Word, and it maybe we will include some images in our written content. But for example, if it's a leaflet, so a leaflet should have uh, images as well in it, and there should be the writing would be like this. For example, if we have written it here in paragraphs and things like that, there's no image in it. And if it's a uh, leaflet, then for example the content would be in this box, something like that. There would be in the box and there would be some image. There would be the logo of the organization. There in the footer we would have the information like the phone number, email address of the organization, something like that. So we need to make sure that we need to make it like a leaflet. And that leaflet, we need to explain the legal responsibilities in adult social care, and make sure that that leaflet is not for the advertisement purpose. It's not an advertisement like we get it at our home, the advertisement leaflet or any organization leaflet, that these are the advertisement one, but this is related with the legal responsibilities in adult social care, and we need to analyze the rights of service user in adult social care. So because we are training new staff who are recruited in our company, so sometime when we go at some training, so they give us some sort of leaflet or booklet which has the information. So we need to think like that. And again, if we need to achieve the merit criteria, then we need to do the assessment of how legal responsibility support the rights of service user in adult social care. Then learning outcome and assessment criteria. Then we have the learning outcome 3 and we have the task 3. So now in task 3, your manager has asked you to provide slides and speaker notes for a presentation to a new entrants about the values, behavior, and ethical responsibilities underpinning adult social care. Your presentation should include examples to illustrate the content. The slides and speaker notes must analyze values and behavior underpinning adult social care, and we need to analyze ethical responsibilities in adult social care. So now here we will follow the command verbs, the keywords, and also now here we have to make slides. So how we will make slide? We will make slide by using Microsoft PowerPoint, and those slides should have speaker notes as well. So are you all aware of the speaker note section and how to make PowerPoint? If not, then I'll show. Are you all aware of Microsoft PowerPoint? Okay, I'll show it as well. Uh, so now, for example, we have the extension activities, and to achieve distinction, your slides and speaker note must also, we need to do the evaluation. We need to evaluate the importance and impact of values and behavior underpinning work in adult social care. So, okay, so these are the guidelines for the assessor, for the marker, and what next we have. So now we have the unit specification. So again, grading structure is based on pass, merit, and distinction. And your assignment brief would be based on these pass, merit, and distinction criteria. So again, we have the 4 learning outcomes, and we have the pass, merit, and distinction criteria which we need to follow. Again, I'm mentioning it again that first we will do the pass, then we'll go for merit, then we'll go for distinction. Don't only write for distinction work and think that you will pass. We will go step by step: pass, merit, distinction. So here, for example, in this case, we'll go for this 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, then this M1, and then now here, for example, this distinction criteria is based on these 2 learning outcomes. It's not for only learning outcome 1. So this distinction criteria is based on both learning outcomes. So we will do the pass, merit, then we will go here, uh, that 2.1, 2.2, and then we will attempt the distinction criteria. So okay, so now we have to discuss about the indicative content. So we need to use the indicative content in our work. So like health and social care provision in country of choice to cover organization. For example, we are in the United Kingdom, so we will talk about the United Kingdom and NHS. So we have discussed everything in our previous lectures. We have discussed in detail about the learning outcome 1, 2. This is the learning outcome 3, then the learning outcome 4. So look here, for example, they have mentioned here care legislation, UK Care Act, and equality and human rights, the confidentiality. So we discussed everything, and we have discussed everything in detail. We were talking about the mental capacity of a service user, about the mental health, and we should use everything with example if the criteria is asking us for to write in detail or give examples. So these are the important points, and these are the suggested resources. So these are the uh, text or the books we'll get from we can read and do our work. Then these are few of the web resources we can find the information from. And if we are talking about giving example of global context, uh, for example, if we are giving example of Human Rights Act and Human Rights Act 1998, so for example, if we are giving example of World Health Organization, so we are talking about international context or the global context. So we can get the information from here as well. And for example, if they are asking us to compare our national policies or legislation with international context, then we will go for the international context. So now, as I said that, okay, I'll show up to use PowerPoint. So for example, if we For example, if I have this presentation to make, I will add information here. So it's a blank one. And look here, we have the notes section. So we will provide the notes here. We will write the notes here because in the presentation section of the assignment is asking us to make a presentation and write the speaker notes as well. So look, we can write it here um, and we will add it in the presentation. So when we will write it, after that, when we'll save it, so it will save with the speaker notes as well. So generally, when we open Microsoft Word, it does not show the notes. So if I click here, so now we don't have this section. And even if the notes are written, so sometime when we open it, we cannot see the speaker notes. So when we are writing it, so make sure that we click here and then we will add notes here. And then we will save the work. So this is how we do it on Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint. And okay, I was talking about the Harvard referencing style. So we don't need to remember everything that how we follow the Harvard referencing style. So we can use now there are some websites like mybib.com and we have cite this for me. So we can use those and make the Harvard referencing in-text citation and the references. So how we will do that, I'll show that as well. So for example, Google and I need to look for CARE Act. So I gave the example earlier to the other class. So I'll give the same example if I'm talking about CARE Act. So CARE Act 2014. I'll search it on Google if I have to write something about the CARE Act. So I will always look for the credible source of information. I won't look for Wikipedia. For example, here I have information regarding the CARE Act 2014 and it's in Wikipedia. So I don't recommend using any information from Wikipedia because these sources are not reliable sources, credible sources. We always have to write the information, rewrite it in our own, take the information and rewrite it in our own words from credible or reliable sources. For example, so this is a .gov.uk website, so that means this is a credible source. Here we have again information on the CARE Act, and this is from the legislation.gov.uk website. So these all are the credible sources. So we will use the information from here. So for example, if I read about CARE Act 2014, so if I have read the information about CARE Act 2014 from here and I need to, when I have rewritten it in my own words, then I need to do the in-text citation and do the referencing in Harvard style. So the easy way is I'll go for mybib.com. Mybib, we will search on Google, mybib. Look here is giving me like the options for mybib APA Harvard referencing. So we will always go for the Harvard referencing style. I'll show you the actual website, then we'll go to Harvard so you will explain, you will understand it better. For example, if I search it, now I am on mybib website. I click here. So this was the one which I made previously for the other class. So you will have the like page like this when you'll open myweb.com. So we have to look for the Harvard style. Look here is mentioning that I am following the Harvard referencing style. You always need to make sure that the setting of MyWeb or Cite This For Me or any other referencing generating site, it should be the setting should be on Harvard referencing style. So now I have taken the information and rewritten it. Suppose I have rewritten it in my own words. So I have taken the content from a website because this is a website. If it's a book, I'll go for book. If it's a journal, then I'll go for journal. If it's a video, and we have more options here. So I have taken the information from website. So what I'll do is I will copy the link of that specific page and I will paste it here and I will search it. And now I have the search result. So we need to check that is it the same website which we are giving the reference for. So we are talking about the legislation.gov.uk and it's about the CARE Act 2014. So look here, it's giving me the same result that it's the legislation.gov.uk and this is the URL and it's giving me the information that is the credible source. So we'll always use the credible sources and now I will click onto it. Then if I need to add the information when it's published and things, so generally in websites is automatically the information would be there. So because I did it earlier, so it's giving me the preview of it and I'll save it. And so because it would be a duplicate one, so I will add it. So now I'll have the same information twice. So for you guys, it won't be the same because I have used the same information again. So now this is the reference. So reference list we create at the end of the assignment and the reference list would be in alphabetical order. In Harvard referencing style, we will always do the referencing in alphabetical order. So for example, if I have a reference starting from A, then it would be the first one, then the B one there, then C, D will go in alphabetical order. Or for example, if we have uh, like reference from, just for example, from the word alphabet A, and we have two references from the alphabet A. So what we'll do is, for example, the first one is AA. So I'll write it. The first one I'll use is the AA. For example, my second reference will start from AB. Then I'll use then I'll put the second reference as the AB one. Then the C and D's like that. So here, this is the reference and the in-text citation if we need to copy and paste it. So for example, we'll go on these three dots and this is the in-text citation. So here, if I click onto that, it's giving me option that copy in-text citation, or I will go here and click on this copy in-text citation and I will paste it here. Suppose this is my work and I need to give the in-text citation. So I will uh, paste it here. And for example, now I need to give the references in the end. So I will copy the bibliography entry and the references would always be in the references section. And then I will paste it here. So it would be something like this. So I hope you all have understood about the referencing and the in-text citation. And please, if you have any question, please do ask and I'll answer those questions. So you will make your assignment the best assignment possible. And this was about the in-text citation and the referencing. I have showed you uh, how to make the notes in PowerPoint. So these were the important bits which I remember. And okay, there would be a uh, also there would be like we need to follow a structure. We need to follow some specific guidelines when making an assignment. So it's always better to use the font size of 12 when we are using or typing. Then we will use uh, font Arial, and the font size would be 12 and the line spacing would be 1.5. So that would be a good presentation of your work. So we always consider the presentation of the work as well. If we write in very small letters, so it won't be uh, readable to the assessor or the marker. So make sure that we write in any acceptable format using um, Arial font size 12 and the line spacing 1.5. Um, I don't have a sample of your assignment, uh, but I have sample of other assignment. I'll show you that as well. For example, when we have this assignment, so you all would have assignment like front sheet. We all need to fill out the assignment front sheet, and this is for your reference only. This is a sample. So you'll need to write the name of yourself or the and the tutor name, subject, things. So make sure that we fill out the front page properly. Then we need to do the declaration, and there should be a student your signature, then the word count, and this section to be completed by the tutor. And here, for example, in this assignment brief, they have given you a case study, then the task. So same sort of thing you will get in the assignment brief. So you will need to follow it. So for example, this is the work, and this is the cases like interpretation of on the case study. So look at the font. So now the font is Arial and the font size is 12 and the line spacing is 1.5. So we need to do that as well in our assignment. And for example, if we have to create a table, then we will create a table. And then now here, for example, we are talking about the relevant X analyzation. So we have mentioned it right like in full, and we have used headings here, subheadings. So these are the subheadings or the headings here. So we will use the headings or subheadings in our work. Then in the end, we have the reference list and make sure that it's in Harvard referencing style. So this is just an example. So we will do it like this. And any question from the students, please, if you have any question, then please do ask. I think there's no question from the students. So that's all about your assignment, and I wish you best of luck. And we have about 2 weeks to complete the assignment, and like there would be always like plus minus of the words. Like sometime they gave us the permission to go 10% plus or 10% minus. So usually we follow the 10% rule. So if we go above the word limit, so we can go up to 10% or like beyond it. So we will go for 10% plus or minus for the word count. For example, if the word count is 3,000 words, so the plus would be um, 300 words. We can go up like further for 300 words, and we can same do with the minus of it. So we can decrease 300 words from the work as well. Make sure that the work should have the introduction, then the body, and also the conclusion. And when we are attempting the PowerPoint, so we need to make sure that um, we will have the speaker notes as well. And there was one specific section about the leaflet, so make sure that the work which is required for the leaflet, the task, it should be in leaflet format. And that's it, I believe, for today. And again, I'm asking that if any question, so please ask. If not, then we will finish today's class. Any question? No? Okay. So I'll stop the recording, and I'll see you with the next lesson in the coming weeks. And we will start a new unit, and we will go for the learning outcomes of that unit together. And best of luck to all of you. Thank you. Take care. Bye.